In this video, we're going to talk about 5 sub-niches for the big niche football. Let's go. Thanks for joining me on this video. My name is Juna with Detour Shirts. I've been designing and selling t-shirts online since 2005, and in this video I want to teach you about 5 sub-niches for the very popular niche football. And when I talk about football, I mean American football. And this would work, these sub-niches, some of these would work for any sport actually, so stay tuned to watch for these. If you've seen my videos before, you know I've made a holiday trend calendar and football is on there. So we're going to talk football this time. I'm going to tell you the do's and don'ts. Mostly there's a lot of don'ts for football. I'm going to show you that first. And then I'm going to show you 5 sub-niches on Amazon that are selling right now. And these can sell on any POD site, but I'm going to use Amazon to show you that they're selling right now. With the BSRs, the bestseller rank. The lower those are means that they're selling. And of course, don't copy any of these. These should just be to inspire you to know what to do for these niches. These niches are still going to be kind of broad. You're going to have to niche down and figure out what kind of phrase to use for these specific niches. But I'm going to show you what they are so that you can design safely for football. And so speaking of safe, let's get into the don'ts of football. So here are the football don'ts, and these are some pretty big don'ts, so stay away from these. Basically, don't use anything trademarked or copyrighted, right? So no team names, no colors, no logos, no phrases, no players. And when I say team names, I mean professional teams, college teams, even TV show or movie teams. I wouldn't go close to those, so like Riverdale or any popular TV show on there. Don't do those for football teams. No cities, team cities with sports. So stay away from even Los Angeles football, even though it doesn't say Los Angeles Raiders or Rams or whatever. Don't use that. So even though there's not a team name in there and it's just the city and football, I would still stay away from these. Amazon is cracking down on these as well. And here's some examples. So you can see the first one on the left here is the Michigan logo. Stay away from any logos, right? This is a college team, but you stay away from any team logos at all. You can see right here, this is, it may be a drawing, but you can see the name of the person right here. I think this says Mahomes. This is for Kansas City, right? You can tell by the colors, so stay away from team colors and logos. You can easily tell this is from them. And this one says Sundays are for the Steelers. The Steelers is a team name, so stay away from that. This is not good. Green Bay, Wisconsin, this is what I'm talking here. Even though it doesn't say Green Bay Packers, we know that these are the colors and this is where they're at. So Green Bay, same thing here. Green Bay football helmet with the colors and stuff. Stay away from that. And you can obviously see that this is the Bengals with the helmet and everything. So stay away from those kind of things. So again, basically anything trademark or copyright, don't do for football. Stay away from NFL, from college, and any of those. But there are a lot of things that you can do for football, and I think a lot of things that people will still buy for football. And let's get into those right now. I'll show you on Amazon with niche, sub-niche number 1. So the first football sub-niche that I want to share with you is funny football t-shirts. You can see right here, I typed in on Amazon, funny football shirts. Now this is a big one. You can see almost over 10,000 results. Funny football, but here's some ideas. It can be whatever funny phrase, funny thing, and you can see that it is selling. So look at these BSRs, under 100,000 here, and let's see, this is just my football shirt, Go Sports, things like that. It's just very safe, very generic. It's not talking about an NFL team, right? It's not doing any of that kind of stuff. So you can see here, just words on a shirt sometimes can do really well with a football graphic or something. So don't copy these, but you can see that funny t-shirt, funny football t-shirts are huge, and some of them do really, really well, right? So Eat Sleep Football, Coach, and things like that. So lots of different things that you can do here. I'm just going to scroll down so you can see home run with a football player, some easy stuff. So think of something that someone who loves football would wear as a funny thing that they would wear to watch a game or to a game or something like that. Now I would stay away from this one right here. You can see it's very close to the NFL logo, so don't do that. But for the most part, a lot of these are safe. So try your hand at this. Think about it. Think of a phrase or something that is funny for football, or maybe even a graphic that's funny on here, or a combination of both. So that's your first sub niche, is funny football shirts. So sub niche number two, football sub niche number two, is specific players in the football team. So let me show you what I mean. So this is a sub niche of the funny football t-shirts. So you can see I typed in linemen football shirts. You can see a lot less results. And so some of these actually say linemen because quarterbacks need heroes too. Look at that. Very low BSR, means that it's selling. This one actually just says linemen. So that one's selling as well. You can see linemen. This one says QB for quarterback, but that's a different one. We'll look at those as well. Linemen, right? Quarterback security for linemen, and so on. So O-line, D-line, whatever, right? You can see lots of these for linemen, and they do really well right here. So look at that, BSR, 386, serving pancakes, right? Funny stuff here. So think of a funny phrase or something for linemen in this case. And let's look at quarterback. So I got quarterback here, quarterback football. You can see same thing, quarterback security, all-time QB. So again, quarterback security for linemen, but there's some other ones, you know, QB1. Let's see what else here. Well, we got D-line as well. So think of the different positions and things on here. A lot of them are for linemen, but you got some for quarterback and things. So mom of the quarterback, right? Things like that. So think about those positions as we go down here. And one last one is the coach. So coach is very important in football as well. So you can see coach, and these do really well too. So think of maybe your dad's a football coach, so you can do stuff like that, or some coach phrases, some funny coach phrases as well. And coach could be for other sports. Like I said in the beginning, some of these can be used for other sports. You can see this one has basketball and so on. So think of different funny coach sayings, different quarterback sayings, D-line, O-line, whatever it is. Think of the different positions, and those can be safe because they're not talking about specific teams or copyright trademarked stuff. So some of these phrases may be trademarks, so do your research. Make sure not to copy these phrases if they're trademarked. Think of your own phrase that you can use, but just showing you that you can do things for specific positions like quarterback, lineman, and even coach. So football sub niche number 3 is fantasy football. So you can see I typed in fantasy football shirts right here. Only 1,000 results. And you can see lots of different ways you can do fantasy football. If you're into fantasy football, you may know what to wear here. I'm not into fantasy football, so if you're like me, you're going to have to do some research. But you can see a lot of people play fantasy football, eat, sleep fantasy football, right? You got world's okayest fantasy football player. This isn't fantasy football, but this is a funny one that pops up in there. So if you type in, it has in the title fantasy football, so maybe, right? It can work if it's in the title. So some of these could work for multiple sub niches. You can see a lot of these with unicorns because of fantasy, right? Fantasy football champ. Again, even though this is FFL Fantasy Football League, it looks like the NFL logo. Stay away from that. But stay away from anything that remotely looks like those things. But you can see lots of different ones here, and they do pretty well. So you can see, look at the BSRs, and some of them are selling, and they're going to sell more and more as we get closer to football season. That's why we're doing it now before football starts, right? So you can see some of these. So that is your sub niche number 3, and that is fantasy football, and these do pretty well and are pretty safe. So have fun with this one. So football sub niche number 4 are family football shirts. Let me show you what I mean. So I typed in here football mom shirt. You can see this has a lot of results, but these are more generic. So something a mom would wear to their son's football game, right? So football mom, loud and proud football mom, right? And take a look at these BSRs, super low, right? Because this is something really safe that moms would want to wear. There's a lot of football moms out there, and it's dual purpose. So you can wear it to the game, your son's game, or you could also wear it while you're watching a game on TV. So very good one here, and very generic. So staying away from any of the NFL kind of team colors, team sayings, and things like that. But you can see football, having a football graphic is safe, and then just having some text or a picture or a drawing of a mom is safe. A helmet is safe, but you can see a lot of these are just for the moms right here. So see, very good. And some of them with the low BSRs, right? So think of something that a mom would wear. And of course, same thing goes for dad. So you can see here, football dad t-shirt on Amazon. A lot of results again, but same thing. The dads could be wearing this little different way that they're drawing it, but same idea, right? So football dad here. That's my son out there, football dad. You can see something a dad would wear to watch football. And some of these BSRs are a little higher. They're going to go down as we get closer to football, but some of them are already selling, right? So same thing, like I said, you can use some of these same ideas for other sports. So there's soccer or football in other countries. So soccer dad, and you can see here, coach and dad and things like that. So dual purpose again, and you could do the same thing for football sister, football brother, football aunt, grandma, grandpa, and all those things. I would scale it. So this is a really good one to do if you got a good design, a good idea. You don't have to just put football dad. You can put some other words on there as well, or football mom, other words on there as well. But this is a really good one to think about what you would do in this case. Again, very saturated, so you're going to have to make sure that yours stands out, that yours is different, that's something a mom would wear to a football game. So think of that. But this is your sub niche, number 4 for football, and that is family football t-shirts. So the last football sub-niche that I wanted to talk about are football graphics, and there's not really a good way to show this. I typed in football graphic shirts, but that's not really the best way to do it. But I'm going to show you what kinds of graphics. So you can see here, American football with a silhouette of a football player, American football, or a football with American flag in it. Let's see. I'm just talking about just graphics, no text. So you can see a drawing of a football player. Just make sure that it's not too close. Don't put the like the Bengals and things like that on here. Make sure that's a generic football player. Let's see what else. A football again with the American flag. It's silhouette with the flag, right? And this is very creative. Look at these right here. So a football player using different icons and things of football. You can see it here, football player with different words. So think of different graphics that you can make for this football. Let me see if there's any more down here. Peace, love, and football. I know those are words there, but this part is the graphics. You can see here just a kind of a football heart, right? And things like that. So lots of different graphics. I think this is a good one that you could think of if you can draw or find graphics or kind of mash up different graphics. This would be a good one to do. So think about this one. This is your football sub niche number 5 for this video, and that is football graphics, just graphics by themselves. So here again are your football sub niches in this video. Remember, funny football, that's a big one. Think of a funny phrase or something. Football positions, you got linemen, quarterback, even coaches. Fantasy football, those are funny as well. I think a lot of people like to go the humor route. And football family, don't forget football mom, football dad, football grandma, grandpa, and football graphics. Sometimes you don't need any words at all. You can just do a football silhouette of football players, flags, and things like that. And again, don't forget these, the football don'ts. Stay away from any of those. You notice on Amazon when I did a search for football, you didn't see any of these, and that's because Amazon is super aggressive about these. They will take you down. So even if you try and do something similar to this, they will take you down because they're not having it, they're not doing it. You notice when I typed in football, you didn't even see it, and that's because all of those has been taken down. So be very, very careful on these, but you can do these sub niches. Just be sure that these are generic and don't involve any of those copyrighted material, any trademarks and things like that. So be safe, have fun, make sure to get some before football season starts and get some of those sales. So that is it for this video. Hopefully this video is really informative for you, very helpful to make sure that you're safe in doing football shirts. Now, a lot of people just stay away from this because they don't want to get tagged and don't want to get in trouble. But there are some safe ways to do this if you really want to do football t-shirts. If you want to stay away, that's great as well. Play it safe. But if this video is really helpful for you, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to this channel already, make sure to hit that subscribe button right there. The question of the day for this video is, Have you designed a football t-shirt before? Let me know that in the comments. I would love to hear it, see your take on it, if you feel safe around this subject. Thanks again for watching, and if you want to see more videos about different niches and sub-niches, click on these videos right here. And as always, guys, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.